Check it out, everybody. We're gonna drink this today. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but you guys are gonna see it. So excited. Stay tuned. We're gonna do a little taste test of a commercially available Makgeolli versus my homemade Makgeolli. First thing you gotta do is kind of give it a little spank. Loosen up some of that sediment that's on the bottom. This is something that you don't think you should do with a carbonated beverage, but with Makgeolli, it's important because a lot of the flavor is in that sediment. So you just want to kind of give it a little mix. Hear a little release of bubbles there. Yep, smells ricey, a little boozy. Let's give it a pour here. So this is the Cook Sung Dong brand Makgeolli. Original flavor, 6% ABV. Milky, a little fizzy. Definitely sweet. You definitely taste some sugar. And a lot of places will add a little sugar back after the fermentation to keep the bubbles going inside the bottle. Looks like they added a little fructose here, but they also add CO2, so maybe they bottle it with a little extra CO2. Anyway, pretty basic. Milky, a little sweet. You get that grain rice flavor. Not a lot of complexity to it, and it's actually quite weak. Well, a 6% drink, actually, it'll build up on you. But there you go, commercial. Now, the real treat is going to be my homemade one. Now, just like with the commercial one, I did add a teaspoon of plain white sugar, sucrose, into here. Right after I bottled it, and then it's been in the refrigerator aging a little bit since I bottled it. And I don't know if you can see, there's little bits of bubbles floating around in there now. It was actually quite flat when I bottled it. So we're gonna give this another spank, get some of that sediment mixed up. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's give it a taste. Oh, little fizz, yep. Okay, so my home brew Makgeolli. This one definitely has more fermentation-y funky flavor, just from the aroma. Ooh. More alcohol for sure, because I didn't dilute this at all. This is straight from the fermentation into the bottle, and a lot of recipes call for adding additional water. It's a little fizzy, not as much as with this, and it's definitely not as sweet. A lot more complexity that's developed in the fermentation process, and it's definitely stronger. So if I had to choose the one that I prefer, it's definitely the homemade one versus the commercial one. This is a little too sweet and it's weak. It's got very basic flavors. This one is a lot more complex because it has the extra fermentation time. It just develops more complexity. Makgeolli is traditionally accompanied by Korean drinking snacks. The snacks are called anju, which are Korean drinking snacks, and I have a selection here. I've got some cheese tteokbokki. I have some grilled chicken gizzards, and I've got some stir-fried spicy squid with udon noodles. And of course, to go along with all of that, we have a selection of banchan, which is going to be pickled bean sprouts, a pickled radish, as well as the classic kimchi. All right. And of course, all of these are meant to go together with drinking because, you know, you get some spice, you get salt, and it just is supposed to be part of the experience, is drinking and snacking on all of these nice, spicy, salty foods. All right, so we're gonna get started. I got all of this food at Bab Korean Bistro, and I'll put the information in the description. It's a Korean restaurant in Brookline, Massachusetts. Even though it's in a little bit more pricey rent neighborhood, their prices themselves on the menu are actually pretty much on par with the ones in Alston Village. So the first one I'm going to try here is cheese tteokbokki. There you go. It's got these rice cakes, melted cheese, fish cakes, and I think there's some mung bean jelly mixed in there, and it's all coated in this sweet and spicy sauce. It's based with gochujang, which is the fermented spicy soybean paste. That goes together great. Oh yeah. These mung bean jelly or bean noodles also soak up a lot of the flavor. I like those bean noodles a lot. Wow. We got a nice bite with the tteokbokki, a fish cake, some cheese, a little bit of onion it looks like that's been stir-fried in there. You get that first hit of umami that comes from those fish cakes. The texture of the tteokbokki, it's very smooth, but it's also bouncy and it's chewy. And as you chew it, all that sweet, spicy gochujang flavor starts to mix up with everything. And then that cheese has that melty, smooth, unctuous mouthfeel. And it does have a very pizza-like vibe. And that's like a classic drinking snack. Ooh! Oh, that's good stuff. Next up, we have grilled chicken gizzards. Grilled with lots of onions, jalapenos, looks like some squash, lots and lots of garlic. So gizzards, not the most popular cut of meat. These are part of the digestive tract of the chicken. This has been grilled. It has a very soy sauce kind of aroma, and you get that kind of a wok, if you're familiar with the Chinese term, that breath of the wok kind of aroma. Well, I can see why this is a perfect drinking snack. I mean, those gizzards, they have the very meaty umami flavor, and you get that grilled taste, that char. Yeah, that Makgeolli, it just brings out the best flavor of this dish. You get this dark meat, right? Very dark chicken meat. It's almost so dark it tastes beefy. And when it gets griddled and you get all these little crispy exterior parts of it, it adds to the texture because it's already a very chewy meat. Then you get a little bit of those astringency from these onions, a little of the pop from the jalapeno peppers, and the juiciness from the other vegetables like the bell peppers and the cabbage. All of that brings more flavor. And of course, you got this bits of caramelized grilled garlic that it doesn't have that burning, bracing garlic kind of heat. It's just more of a sweetness and a warmth. And all of those bold flavors add some of the complexity from the fermentation of the Makgeolli, and it just goes together so good. Cleanse the palate. Perfect. All right, moving on. Stir-fried squid with udon noodles. This happens to come with noodles. You can get stir-fried squid dishes in Korean restaurants without the noodles. It just is the, vegetables and the gochujang kind of based stir-fry sauce. So let's give a taste to the squid alone first. And I like how they slice it with those little scoring marks. It gives a little bit more texture to the squid, which tends to be very smooth and slippery, and it gives it something to catch on to some of the juice from the sauce. So let's give that a taste. I don't know if you can hear that, but the squid itself is actually kind of crunchy. In the way that chicken cartilage has that little crunch, but a bite and chew to it. That textural play is great because you have to chew it a little bit more and it releases more of the flavor. All right, let's try this with some of the noodles too. Look at all these udon noodles. They've soaked up lots of that sauce. Let's give that a taste. Oh yeah. The flavor is in the noodles. They soak up all of the juices that are released from the squid and the gochujang and the onions. Oh yeah. The noodles are where all the flavor's at. Finish this off. Oh yeah, that washes it all down. All of that fermentation adds that bit of funkiness, that complexity. You still get the rice flavor, you still get a little bit of sugar, and you definitely get a little bit of alcohol. But the way it works with the spice and that residual sweetness from the gochujang, they go together. Oh yeah, that squid. I'm out of Makgeolli. So that means the video is over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you I made some pretty potent stuff because I am at a loss for words, and I'm pretty much done for now. Oh yeah, there you go. Compliments to the chef. Anyway, check out Bab Korean Bistro and like and subscribe, and I think I'm getting a little drunk because I can't finish this video. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Whew. Oh yeah.